me out of the woods sometimes. And Wednesday, I'm having heart surgery, so there you go. Several years ago, I graduated from Harding with a degree in Bible and a degree in art, and tried to use both of those degrees. And when my son was little, I started drawing some cartoons, Bigfoot cartoons for him. And they snowballed into what we call Laughsquatch. And I have a book that's published, but it's out of print now. I'm trying to get it back into print, and I have enough cartoons for 2 other books. So if I could just get them involved. I live in Bologna, Arkansas. I'm going to have another program later on this afternoon where I talk about the Bigfoot sightings that I've collected from this area and from Arkansas. If you have a sighting, I would like to hear about it. I have some business cards over on the tables where you came in. I would like to add you to my database. I don't use people's names. I don't use your exact address. I'll just say it's near this town and this is what happened. And so, but right now I have 1,000 sightings that's going to be published in a book of just Arkansas Bigfoot sightings. 1,000. Every county has activity in this state. But I would really like to add you to that database if I could. But this is the 6th year that I've put this event on. And if you enjoy it, if you want us to continue doing something like this, let us know. And we'll do it. It's putting something like this on is like being pecked to death by chickens. There's so many little things you got to do to make it happen. But I'll be happy to do it for people that are interested in this subject. So, Laughsquatch. In this subject, either you're going to laugh or you're going to cry. One of those 2 things, and I choose to laugh. And so, I don't know if you can read these or not. I can read it to you. I wanted to welcome you to the Arkansas Bigfoot Conference. And if you can read it, it says, man, we've got to be more careful. You know, you see all these plaster casts out here and all, and this Bigfoot's in a raincoat and a hat hiding, and so he thinks he's got to be more careful. We need more plaster. When my son was small, I would draw myself and him in a lot of the cartoons, and so that was us when I was younger and skinnier back there. These were kind of like The Far Side, if you remember those in the newspaper, just one caption. I always was fascinated with that you could start a story and tell a story and have a joke and end the story in one picture. And so that's what I was trying to do in these. It says, why is it that every time we eat out, it's always fast food in a box? The real reason why the southern Bigfoot is so cranky. And that's true. And I always try to explain the cartoons in my book. One side will be a cartoon, and then there'll be a whole page based upon the subject of that, like domestic animals being disappeared. Maybe from your neighborhood, you may have dogs running around, and all of a sudden the dogs disappear. Or you may have 30 cats, and all of a sudden the cats disappear. Sometimes they're the easy meal in a box. And southern Bigfoot is known to be more aggressive than the ones that are out west. I don't know, I think they come in contact more with humans. Our land is kind of flat, and there's tall mountains out there that they can hide on. and they probably come in contact with hunters and farmers and other type of people down here, and they're cranky. But I think it's probably the mosquitoes. One guy's looking at the other, and he says, personally, I'm in the no-kill camp. And the other one says, oh yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Mike talked about that in his presentation, about how people are actively looking to harvest a specimen for science. And I'm sure Bigfoot is really not in favor of that. They're probably in the no-kill camp. And one of my favorites here, he says, and then I saw them pick up my poop and put it in a bag. And the other one says, oh, stop, you're killing me. You kind of wonder what Bigfoot thinks about what we do out in the woods. One day, out of curiosity, the Sasquatch decided to explore the other end of his cave, and that's where he winds up. There's really not a lot of evidence of Bigfoot actually living in caves. You would think that that's where they would be, but if a cave only has one entrance, I think these things are smart enough that they don't want to get caught or inside someplace where there's not another exit. And so I think they're mainly in the forest, under trees, under rock ledges and stuff like that. But maybe not caves, but this guy's probably wondering where in the world is he at. All right, class, who made that awful smell? A lot of people talk about the odor that Bigfoot has, and a lot of people think that it may be just hygiene. Some people think it's scent glands under their arms, like orangutans and gorillas and chimps have scent glands. So when they're really agitated or angry, they put out this really awful musky smell. And they think that that's what happens when you're out in the woods and you're invading some creature's territory and it doesn't like it. It puts out this terrible smell. And all these little Bigfoot are just really happy about it. Oh man, that's going to leave a cast. I have footprint cast, I have knuckle cast, I have a hand cast, I have a butt cast I got from Dr. Jeff Meldrum. And sooner or later, I'm going to have a cast of all pieces of a Bigfoot body, and I can put them together, and I'll have a whole body cast. But I'm waiting for this Bigfoot that's going to leave a good impression of his face in the dirt. You know, they are kind of big. This one, there's a lot of words here, but it says, you know in that Boggy Creek movie where the creature sticks his hand through the window and scares the guy on the john? Man, I've always wanted to do that. And the other one says, oh yeah, me too. Raise your hand if you've seen The Legend of Boggy Creek. Every hand should be up. That actually put Arkansas on the map, of the Bigfoot map. In fact, the whole southern part of the United States, people just thought Bigfoot was in California and Oregon and Washington. But that movie told the world that no, they're down here too. They're down here too. And everybody needs to see it. It's a little campy. It's a little dated, 1972, but it's well worth seeing. A lot of the people that actually witnessed the creature are portraying themselves in the movie. And so they're the real deal. And I would encourage everybody to see that. In this scene where the guy is sitting on the commode and the big hairy hand knocks the screen off the window and reaches into the bathroom, and he jumps up and he busts through the door and he's in the hallway and he's running away. You know what the strangest thing in that whole situation is? He's wearing long johns and there's not a flap in the back. Why is he sitting on a commode with no flap in the back? I just don't know about that. This one, it says, you know, this is my favorite part of their visits. You know, sitting around the campfire playing the guitar, and when we go squatching, if that's what you call going out and hunting for Bigfoot. When you go squatching, you don't do commando and like a Rambo and run through the woods and try to catch one of these things, because you're not even going to see something. But if you make a camp and you play music or you laugh and you make things interesting, you may be drawing something in close to you. And so that's what we do. Going squatching is a glorified camp out. And so you may have been squatching all your life and you didn't even know it. Just try to bring these things closer to them. And they may be hiding on the other side of your truck too. The Bigfoot Overreactors Organization, BOO for short, has a Class B encounter every time they go out. And one guy is saying, I heard it, and there's a raccoon back there that stepped on something. He said, I heard it, where's Jim? Oh no, it's got Jim. And where is it? Lordy, Lordy, we're surrounded. And Jim is laying on the ground saying, shut up and play dead. And that's about how it is sometimes. With some groups, they will overreact in the woods like that. Class B encounter is where you hear something, you have experiences. Class A would be when you actually have your eyes on something. And so Class B, they just heard something and they panicked. The Bigfoot Overreactors Organization, sometimes I'm in that. Here's another one. BOO, the Bigfoot Overreactors Organization, likes to prepare their research locations. In their little boxes, it says, in case of emergency, break glass, and there's tidy whities inside. So, me and Frankie, years ago, we ordered some, off of eBay, I think it was, we ordered some long johns, and they came in tan or white. And I said, let's get the tan, they're pre-browned. So we use those when we would go out squatching. Okay. Let's not use that recording to call blast anymore. You know, when you use these calls or you make these whoops out in the woods and try to solicit a response, you don't know what you're saying to them. You may be saying, humans are in the woods, run away. Or you may be saying, there was one situation where I made this big long call out one time and something called back. And it sounded just like what I'd done. And so I called again and it called back. And I called again and it called back, and it seemed to be getting closer and closer each time. And then I started thinking, what if this thing is looking for a girlfriend? So I shut up. You never know what you're saying. Okay, call blast. Okay, we called them. Now what? So they're around. My favorite part of that whole thing is the rear view mirror. And you can see them behind the truck too. All right, field notes. The researchers are in the meadow, continuing to stand in the cold and dark, knowing they can't see a thing. Morons. And somebody said, hey, where is everyone? And that's, when you go out in the woods and when it's dark, that's advanced darkness out there. And sometimes you can't see anything. And you're out there looking for a big hairy monkey in the woods and you can't see anything, yeah, moron would be. Hang on, he doesn't tell me what to do. Okay, all right. See, I can be taught. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, some researchers, desperate for hard evidence, go a little too far. It's a big mousetrap with a pile of apples. You know, there have been giant traps made in the Pacific Northwest, big out of railroad cross ties and stuff like that, thinking that they could trap something in there and it would be strong enough. They've never caught anything. Big traps in the woods. Yeah, it's a hair sample, all right, but I'm not going to touch it. I don't think I would either. The Sasquatch had had just about enough of these cameras and surveillance equipment. And there is, I really enjoy drawing things like this with a Bigfoot with a shower cap on, you know. He's ready to take a bath and there's surveillance equipment all around. Staying far enough away from not to be recognized, the animals play another trick on the camera. And so, that was fun to draw too. Another picture of a stupid squirrel. Yeah. Have you ever wondered why you don't see Bigfoot on these cameras? A lot of people think that possibly they can see the infrared that is triggering the cameras. And if they can see that, it would be like you having a flashlight on in the dark in the woods, and something could just avoid your flashlight. And so maybe they do things like this and put squirrels in front of cameras. I don't know. There's always that one overachieving researcher who just won't go away and take no for an answer. Sometimes you get cues that you don't need to be where you're at. You know, there may be growls, there could be rocks being thrown at you, there could be things like that. And you know, these things are 7 or 8 foot tall, 500 to 1,000 pounds. They could come up and pull your arms off if they wanted to. So that's something that you need to be concerned about. Just don't be that overachieving researcher that won't go away and take no for an answer. Sometimes things do go bump in the night. And I've had situations like this where you're in a tent and something has brushed the side of your tent, so you know something is out there, and it's kind of ooky spooky. I stepped out of a tent one time and stepped right on top of an armadillo, and it took off, and I had to run away myself. DW that spoke earlier this morning and his wife were in a tent one time where the whole side of the tent was lifted up. And the only thing that was on the ground was DW's butt, because the whole tent was lifted up until it was dropped. So things do go bump in the night sometimes. After years of searching the mountains for Bigfoot, he finally found them living in the trailer next to his. And this was really fun to draw too, a little Bigfoot on the swing and the barbecue grill and everything. So sometimes Bigfoot can be closer than you think. I have, at the present time, I have 35 sightings in Faulkner County. 35 sightings. Now, raise your hand if you're in Faulkner County. That's what I thought. There'd be several. Lake Conway, hot spot. Cadron Creek, to the north of us, hot spot. Enola, hot spot. And so they may be closer than you think. I don't think they're in the trailer next to you, but they could be close. And then I heard you've been looking for me. I'd love for that to happen. Instead of going out and finding it comes and finds you. Hey, I've heard you've been looking for me. And my favorite part of this is the little puddle the guy's standing in, because that's exactly what would happen to me. All right, and that's it. I haven't done one of these in about 7 years, and so I thought I would break it out of retirement. And if you have ideas for cartoons, let me know, and if you enjoyed them, I'm glad you did. Thank you very much.